We'll say, live, we're live, everybody, hello.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, is it an awkward sibling show without technical difficulties?
It's not a show without technical difficulties.
An awkward sibling show without technical difficulties. That one's not me.
No.
Not me this time. Actually, remember to turn the volume down on my TV. Okay. Hello. Okay, first off, hello, MM. How are you doing? Just fair warning, everyone. When I originally said hi to MM in chat, there was like a 4-minute delay between when I sent them the message in the YouTube chat and when it finally showed up on StreamYard.
It's probably because everyone's streaming, because, I don't know, maybe something special is going on this month. I'm not sure. Oh.
Could there be anything I wonder.
Sorry.
November seems like such a boring month.
Right. Yes, so boring.
The smartassery is real today. Yep.
Yes, it is.
Sorry. So, yes, I'm going to go with MM on The Matrix is in a lag. Yeah, that's what's happening. Quite frankly, I think everybody should get a drink. Tom made banana daiquiris, and I wish there was a way to send y'all some because it tastes amazing. There's banana liqueur in here, as well as real bananas and ice, and heavy cream and white rum, aged light rum. I don't know. Tom?
Is it like light colored rum? Is it just a small amount? Is it less calories?
It's clear. It was clear. I saw the bottle. It was clear rum. But it said aged, and I didn't know I didn't know. I thought light rum was young rum. I have obviously so many things to learn, despite my decades of partying hard.
You little turd! Sorry.
There's drama over at Stephanie's show.
I had him get me a drink, and he goes, shake, shake, shake. Here you go.
No.
Oh. Jackson, go get my
drama
keys.
time. Okay.
He's grounded. No candy for him today, no.
Oh. You know, the struggle is real, y'all. Okay. MM says there are 11 streams that they know of going today.
Wow.
I have not been able to keep up with all of them, honestly. Yes, honey. It's delicious. Tom, would you like to just start us off? I've already put Tom's other side up.
While I try to get my laptop back up and working.
So, real quick before I forget. Yes, honey, it says, be better, not bitter, mama magic. With a B and a hive. That's what I see. It looks gorgeous. So let's see. Was it the recipe that you put in our beverage Telegram group?
Yeah.
I'm literally pulling up on my phone because I'm like an old person now. Okay. 2 cups of crushed ice. I think we just used ice in the blender.
Yeah.
Right? 2 medium-sized ripe bananas broken into pieces. So does that mean you went with 3? Because you said you had an extra banana?
Yep.
6 tablespoons, 3 ounces of coconut rum.
Mm-hmm.
A 1/4 cup of fresh lime juice from 2 large limes. Did you say you would reduce that?
Yeah, it was.
Or you felt like that was too much lime juice?
Yeah, 2 ounces was too much. It probably just needs 1 ounce of lime juice.
Okay. 2 tablespoons, that's 1 ounce of orange liqueur. Did you use that? Or did you substitute the banana liqueur?
I did both.
So also 2 tablespoons, that's 1 ounce of banana liqueur. And 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar. Did you also add that?
No, because I was using the liqueur. Yeah.
And then how much heavy cream did you add?
3 ounces.
Okay. 3 ounces. And y'all, let me tell you, This is so smooth and delicious. I really wish I could ship it out to all of y'all. You so deserve it, especially for coming today when like it's just a true like the rolling trash fire has now like caught up in a barge of trash and is on fire. I don't know. Like November is just turning out to be something unique. So, when MM gets back, let's try to remember to ask them how the goats are.
Oh yeah.
I definitely need a baby goat update.
All right, I think it's working.
MM says, when you show it, I see it, but on my side, it's blue. That's interesting. So I guess StreamYard is having a really odd day. Let's say that. And then they'll be back soon. So, you know, hey, it's just us chickens. Tom, do you want me to put this other one you got up?
Yeah.
So.
And I'll switch over shortly.
Okay, because the new one has an echo.
Yeah.
Technical difficulty.
Okay. That should fix the echo right now.
Nope.
Oh.
So I wanted to thank you two for joining my Discord channel because I just started it. I have no idea what I'm doing. So
join the club. We have jackets.
Do we have removable sleeves for when it gets hot?
They're the awesome sleeves. You can literally unzip them like the snazzy pants you are.
Yes. Okay. I have my AC running, guys. It is like 72 degrees, but the sun is beating in on the right through the window here. Like, it's hot. And just last week or the week before, it was snowing. And then it froze, and now it's like it's bipolar. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I think in the low 70s here, but we do have the AC on. Of course, we run quite warm. So.
You guys are in Texas? No, Mississippi.
Yeah, we're in South Mississippi.
It's giant map and put on my wall. I'm gonna put your guys'
I know.
Like pinpoint where you guys are.
I try to ask everyone, hey, I don't need to know what town. I'm not trying to stalk anyone. I just need to know what state so you can kind of keep track of who's in what and the time.
And then I'll know when to worry because like we were all worried about Meadow when there was the fires and stuff over by Portland and everything. I mean, I was lucky enough that I'm in Oregon, but there's a mountain range between here and there. But there's a bunch of people like less than an hour away that got evacuated over to us.
Wow.
And then there was only at one point one road out, and that was Highway 28 East towards like Ontario and Idaho.
Ooh.
Like there was no way to go from us over to the coast because they were all closed. Yeah.
Yikes.
But luckily those fires are, in control, so we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, when Zeta was going through, everyone was asking us how we're doing because it was making a beeline for exactly where we live. And then it banked right into Alabama. And pretty much everybody, about 20-minute drive lower than where we are, lost electricity all the way to the coast.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they just got their electricity back. Most of them got their electricity back late yesterday evening. And some people still don't have electricity.
Jeez.
But we are really lucky. We're really blessed on that. I'm going to say that. Like, while a lot of, I certainly am definitely part of this sucks. That does not suck. We're very lucky that the electricity around here hardly ever goes out, even in ice storms.
It never goes out?
It hardly ever, it's a rarity when it goes out.
It's buried. All the lines are buried around here. So we have a better chance than most of this area.
Right.
So someone else ordered a paperback of mine.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And then my daughter's therapist, I don't know if I told you, she bought a copy of mine. So so I had a 6x9 and then I shrunk it down to a 5x8 and then I ordered 8 copies. I'm like, it's gonna be exactly the same on the inside. I'm gonna smack myself next time I think that.
No, it's fine. fine.
So I ordered 8 copies, right? Because I was going to give one away, and then there were some people in the bowling league, but they know that there's no page numbers, and they're still okay with us with getting the ones I have on hand, which is great because I have like 8 sticks sitting around collecting dust, making pretty pictures. But like, so I get the book. It's so pretty. Jackson, go get my book out of the box. It's so pretty. Everything's great, except for there's no page numbers on the bottom. I'm like, what the heck? So I literally almost cried because it took me like 3 hours to figure it out how to format it in Microsoft Office Word on Microsoft Office because my husband was going to school, but then stuff happened with financial stuff, so he's not going to school anymore, so he's losing it. I'm like, oh man. So, but then Abigail Ford, she had offered to format it for me on Vellum on her computer on her Mac. I'm like, and I said no because I wanted to do it myself. I'm like, it's my book. I don't want anyone's help. I'll figure it out myself. How hard can it be? How hard can it be?
How hard can it be?
So,
Famous last words.
Right? I'll be right back. How hard can it be? What's the worst that can happen, right? Famous last words. So then we spent like maybe a half an hour on the computer the other day, and she reformatted it for me by only thing she did was she well, okay, it's a little different. Instead of Times New Roman font, it's Palatino font, and that shrunk down the page number from like 223 to like 189. Just
Right.
using a different font. And then we added page numbers, and then across the top it has like the name of the book and the author. But this is what the book looks like.
Oh, it looks really good.
All right.
I like it.
So I got a glossy cover, so it's all shiny because of the lights. Of course. Is that better? No.
Glossy is how you get attention.
Right. Yeah, I had wanted, like, I was thinking maybe a matte because then it wouldn't be so glossy and, like, light would bounce off of it. But I got my my first version of the 6x9, the author-proof copy, was matte, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So then I changed this one. But yeah, I didn't think like shrinking it down. I just thought they would like shrink down everything on the page to fit a 5x8, not like cut off the page numbers. Like who would publish a book with no page numbers on it? Come on.
There's a lot of crazy people out there who would.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Okay.
Okay.
That is what this year has taught us. There is far more crazy to go around.
Okay.
Yep, there's the echoes back.
I fixed it.
Okay, good. I just want to point out that there is a link in the chat to Stephanie's new book, Baby, on Amazon.
Thank you.
It took me a few minutes to find it because I am not organized enough to have saved it from the last time because, yeah, ADHD is real.
I keep on forgetting, so like every time I do a live stream where I'm hosting, it's my own channel live stream. I have to go and like open up a tab like one with the link in there, and then because then I'll put it like in the chat or something. But
and just for
I remember, but no.
Just in case anybody ever later is watching the replay on this, I did also put Stephanie's channel in here. I will get it in the description once we go on 15-minute break.
But Lori, I told you a week ago I was joining you today.
Okay, I do not mean any disrespect here.
No,
but I've had a bunch of people say to me before, "Oh no, I'll totally join you next week," and then literally an hour before, I'm like, "Hey, are you coming?" And they're like, "Oh, that's today," and I'm like, I hate that people feel pressured and then they kind of ghost me afterwards, and I'm like, I would rather just wait till people show up.
Right.
Rather than make anybody feel pressured to appear when they, life happens. It's and 2020 really is so difficult for anyone to handle. I mean, I'm just trying to make
maybe we should just start putting in the description and magical mystery guess ?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, hey, other sibling hour with special guests.
Now, this is what I will say. Stephanie link in the description is all the way at the bottom under people who inspire me and help me feel included in no particular order.
Oh, really?
And she's there every week in the description there. If you scroll down, pass the link to my newsletter with
I see that.
And yes, these are the people who really do go out of their way to make us feel special and included, and rather than the people who do the literal opposite. So we wanted to give like a shout out in case like other people are like who are really good allies. We want to like shine a light on that because next season of Awkward Sibling Hour, there will be an episode about autism and allies because not everyone who says there's an ally is actually an ally.
Oh, ally. I think it's an ally.
No.
Oh,
that's
okay.
But yeah. So we wanted to like kind of shine a light every single week of just in case we want y'all to know these are the people who are quality. Check them out if you haven't already. And there are amazing people listed. Please do. Oh, look who showed up. Hey, it's Eva. Mr. got off super early today. Ooh, that's awesome. Just realized it's Tuesday. Is it Monday? Today is Monday. Okay, just checking, sweetheart. And
Wait, what?
She said it's Tuesday.
And I'm like, wait, is it Tuesday? Am I like, okay, no, it's Monday still. Yeah, because like I got to go vote on Tuesday because Mississippi does not count their mail-in and absentee ballots. Ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ever. In the history of Mississippi. I think only 3 times, and it was always for elections of under 100 votes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So we have to go live on Tuesday. I will go in my mask with gloves and a stylus, so I don't even have to touch the screen. The stylus afterwards will then go in a zip-top bag that I will then sterilize later because I do not want to die. So anyway, hey, yes, Monday, whatever. It's a day, and you got it right. It's a day.
Oh, she's in Australia.
I don't think she is.
Oops. It's fine. We're all on the same page.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't remember. When did you go to Illinois? Okay, you know what?
No, you're not. Oh.
Okay. She's somewhere. She is somewhere in the world, like Carmen Sandiego. And I
was gonna say bravo for escaping the U.S.
Right? If only it were possible, because it doesn't Australia still have a moratorium on American visitors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm sorry, I just need to like re-up on my banana daiquiri. It's so delicious. And so the lines were out the door, but not today. Bad for earlier voting. To drop our mail-ins off. That's good. Yeah, apparently there are when people are, you can submit your voting earlier, your mail-in or your absentee ballots here. It's just they don't count them and they don't publicize that in Mississippi. And
well, then
people
what's
are
the point of telling you to mail them in then?
Because if there's a case where there is enough absentee ballots that it could swing a vote, they will count.
Except when that has been an option, judges have ruled it's not necessary to open them.
Yeah.
They make the ruling instead of opening up the ballots and letting the people speak. Hello and welcome to the disenfranchised state of Mississippi. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would feel really bad about it, except I've been finding out so many more states are also just equally as happy. So, hey. I mean, it's going to take the rest of my lifetime to work on this. So, that leads me into, real quick, satire versus parody. Let's talk for just a moment about what is the difference. Tom, do you have any words before I get the diesel engine revved up?
No, I think I'll let you start on this and then I'll continue.
And I'm not going to get too far in because I know we're about to go on a 15-minute break or write in or whatever you want to do with your nano month. But for the record, parody is where you imitate a style and you exaggerate it for the point of like comedic effect. So it's sort of like, I think that we all are probably familiar with The Simpsons if you're old enough, you may remember Bart Simpson singing to the tune of Jingle Bells. Batman smells, Robin laid an egg, the Batmobile lost a wheel, a Joker ran away. That's parody because they're exaggerating and they're following like the song, the melody, but the words are different, yet they're kind of still work. So that's parody. And that is considered lowbrow and frowned upon.
Yes.
I'm not saying I frown upon it. I actually love parody. But the courts in America do not protect parody as much as they protect satire. They have recently had to, like, and I say recently, like in the last 20, 25 years, they recently had to protect parody a bit more because of Saturday Night Live specifically has gone to court over this to protect their right to parody real living people and what they do. Our satire, the definition is to use humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics or other topical issues. And that is considered highbrow. Again, I do not agree that it's highbrow. But if you have an Ivy League education, or if, say, you're in the UK and you have a, what is it called? It's a public school education, but it's not actually what we would call private school, like Eton.
Yeah.
If you have a highfalutin elite education, and then satire is defended, parody is frowned upon. Again, I do not agree with these, but this is how like general society views it.
Yeah. Another way I always think of it is parody is an obvious joke. There's no question about the Batman smells being a joke. Satire, if you are not intelligent enough to recognize all the clues in it, you might think is serious.
At least that is what people say, okay? However, a lot of people don't pick up on the satire. So, for instance, Stephen Colbert, in the original Colbert Report show, was doing satire. However, a lot of people, my former in-laws included, did not realize it was satire and thought he was serious about his viewpoints being so bereft of morals, integrity, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Stephanie, what did you have to say?
Oh, so have you ever read the book or have been forced to read the book Animal Farm?
Yes.
Okay, so
I also have the cartoon. It's a great cartoon.
I haven't watched the cartoon. Had to read the book. I would say that's a satire.
It is a satire.
Like one of my children, I won't say who, she's not here, thought it was a parody, like a joke. Like, no, it's she's we're just gonna wait for that one.
Parody, part of what makes it parody, and again, I don't like to add how would you say, like, characteristic virtues, like whether this is good or not. I don't like to add that to parody, but parody just simply is you take something that everyone knows, like it could be a movie, a play, a book, a poem. It could be anything. So a lot of people do parodies of The Raven, for instance, including, again, The Simpsons. And but there's like a basis, a sort of a structure to it that everyone is already familiar with.
Like we talk about memes now.
Yes, like memes. And so parody is taking that structure and then sort of draping a different cover on top of it. So if it were parody, I would then ask her, what do you think it is parodying? Is there like a movie, a cartoon, something that you feel it is parodying?
I thought it was a parody because, like, it was animals talking and animals don't talk.
Okay. Yeah. I can see where, like, it would seem like, well, they're exaggerating animals talking to pets.
I would have thought she might have done it.
Like they're well, I could see like they're parodying Old MacDonald's farm.
Sure.
Okay, I guess.
Like that would be where the parody form of it could be.
And it is very possible to have any kind of work, whether it's a work of fiction or a play or even a movie or TV show, essentially start on the basis of parody, but then the further the story gets, it becomes satire because they're going beyond the simple original structure to something that's not really structured based on anything specifically, but they're sort of like riffing, say, on an entire genre. When you're riffing on a whole genre, it's not usually considered a strong parody as much as it's now moved on to satire. So it is understandable why people get confused. I am not judging anyone about that because, like, when I remember, honestly, well, let's be really honest. Even into my 20s, like, I have been talking about parody and satire with my mother since I was, like, in middle school because she felt it was important to understand the difference. And I still would get confused from time to time. So, as I said, like, it is absolutely understandable why people to this day get confused, even people with English degrees. I have actually met people with master's degrees in English, and even, I will admit, 2 people with doctorates in English who were actively talking to me at parties and entirely reversed the concept of parody and satire. It's easy to get them confused, especially when you're consuming some sort of media, like a story, a play, what have you, that maybe starts off with parody, but the more it moves on, it becomes satire. So it's very understandable.
And another one is like anyone who grew up in the 80s and 90s, and even actually more recently, on children's cartoons and Futurama, and even The Simpsons to some degree, all those episodes they did that were essentially a short form version of, you know, the Iliad.
Oh, DuckTales.
Romeo and Juliet.
Remember the 1980s DuckTales? I love that show.
Yes, DuckTales is the case in point, like, so much.
Like, DuckTales definitely parodied the idea of a lot of classic works of literature and put it into 22-minute children's cartoon, frankly, pretty accurately, even though they were trying to do parody.
Yeah.
It wasn't satire, it was parody, but even then they were getting so close to the original works that you could make an argument that it was just they were putting ducks in instead. And but we know what they were parodying. Right.
Were these stories. From the very
start. And also they put it kind of in the title.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, what was I can't remember what their El Dorado?
The what is it? The Gold of El Dorado. There's a bunch of DuckTales. I'm talking about the original DuckTales show, y'all. Not the new one.
Not the reboot.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but they haven't run out of storylines yet, so they start doing classic work. I like that one when I couldn't tell at the time when I was a kid, were they doing the Red Badge of Courage, or were they doing Moby Dick? It was like they sort of mishmashed.
Yeah, it was weird.
But nevertheless, parody is wonderful. Parody has place. I just want to make that very clear. Even though there are plenty of people who look down on parody, those people do not know what they are talking about and obviously have poor opinions. There, I said it. So
to some degree, you can even put some with like Stephanie Meyer's changing, and creating her vampire series. Mm-hmm. Because of the fan fiction nature.
Right. If you're doing fan fiction for comedic effect, then more than likely what you're writing is parody, which is, I think, wonderful. I love parody personally.
Well, take the Scream movies, the original Scream movies, and then they made Scary Movie, which is like making fun of that movie. I would say that's parody. I would say that's a parody.
Yeah, it's very much
not
parody.
Very funny parody, but
because it's an obvious. Yeah, because it's very obvious what they're pulling from.
Right.
You know what's expected because you have to have a cultural reference for parody. Satire, on the other hand, is where we take a normal genre and we make it a bit more extreme so we can ridicule it.
Right.
The whole purpose of satire is to ridicule.
Satire, really does heavily lean on the idea of the reader, the audience, the viewer, feeling open to ridicule the people or the concept that this satirical work is based on. And it's like trying to make a public joke, but where only the people in the in crowd could laugh at it. Like, if you don't know the who this is based on or what incident this is based on, you won't know the in joke. Like, there's layers to it, and I guess that's why some people think that it's more elevated literary wise. I happen to disagree, but whatever. It's still a genre. It's still a type of storytelling, and I think that it is still valid, and that's why we want to talk, since political satire is commonly how satire we see it now. In fact, I think satire has really kind of kept alive because politics is people always have opinions to say for the last several hundred years. Real quick, Oh, good. Yeah, my goal is to get 100 just so I can get the Vanity Url. You know, the web address.
Oh, yeah.
If you have 100 subscribers, you can then determine your, YouTube channel address.
Yeah, that's why, instead of that long, weird.
Right. And so it's just
numbers.
like just random. Yeah, you can actually determine what it is. And frankly, that's what I want. I just want a Vanity Url.
Lori, can you share that link to my book in the chat again? Nicole was asking.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because I still have it up. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Stephanie's book.
What? It says the Nano participants get 20% off Scrivener and winners get 50% off. Oh, yeah, that's motivation right there.
I think that the Nano link, the discount is good for 2 or 3 months afterwards or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that participants with 20% off, and it's good through December 7th or something. So
okay.
But anyhow,
all right. So what did everybody else do? Let's see what's going on in the Okay. Sarcasm, the language of 12 to 20-year-olds. It is true.
And she's 12. So yeah.
How about the eye roll in that? Mom.
Yeah, because it's only sarcasm if you've already established a friendship with someone. If you haven't,
your parents are not your friends. Do not be sarcastic to your parents.
Then you're being a jerk.
I mean,
right?
Your parents are already trying their best not to smother you in your sleep. Don't tempt them. It's cruel. It's cruel to tempt people. Eva was talking about. Eva was saying something. Sarcasm is possible without a target that isn't in the loop of the joke. Is possible without having a target that isn't in the loop of the joke. It's true. People can know somebody's being sarcastic about them. The problem with satire is when no one knows what the people are referencing, and so they take the people seriously. And then for some reason, people would rather double down and just save face and just not admit it's satire. And then Eva was talking about having a conversation with, I think, a grandson or grandnephew. That's why I told you when your humor was cringy, because I think you're a cool dude. To godson there. But yeah, they'll double down. I mean, young people, yes. They'll double down. Hell, regular humans double down. The insistence on continuing something that defines character, not the act itself, in some things. Ignorance isn't an excuse, but it is a common human fallacy. That is so true. Okay, Julie. Let's see. There is my Nano link. I'm just saying, if you would like a Nano buddy, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to do something.
And Stephanie posted hers as well.
Oh, thank you. And Stephanie posted hers. So now you got 2 Nano buddies. If you want some Nano buddies, I think if you have a Nano buddy, you may actually qualify for a badge as well. So I changed just to Apple and got a printer because if anything happens to my device, it is so true. And that is my Nano name. From a very long time ago, there is a backstory. La 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 la. Vanity Earl. Yes, Earl. He is so lovely and a bit vain. You are so sweet. All right. There is no need to make me blush or tear up. I am not used to kindness. Please stop. No, don't stop. Okay. And then there's Charlie's link too.
Yes, everyone, grab up some buddies. Everyone needs a buddy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
So I have you guys on mute. I have you guys on mute and camera off so I can talk to the kids as they're going out of the house. And I'm wanting to unmute and put my camera back on, but I have YouTube up on the computer and I'm moving my keyboard on my laptop to unmute you guys. but I have you on my phone.
Ah.
I'm totally awake. It's fine.
Yeah, we woke up early this morning. We're just like, we just had a few hour or two. We'd be better.
Would really love some more sleep. Okay. So, back to political satire. Tom, are you ready now for the bit that you
Sure.
wanted to talk about? Tom, are you ready now for the bit that you
Sure.
wanted to talk about? While I switch daiquiri cups.
So we watched a whole bunch of what we thought of as, the good, well-known political satire movies of the last 50 years, plus one from, I think, 1948.
You talking about Ballot Bunny? Ballot Box Bunny?
No, the movie.
Oh, the ones we were trying to get and we didn't get all of them.
We got it. I thought you watched it. What was it? Chief Current Affair or something? Anyway, I'll find it in a minute. But, so what we learned looking at these was the 90s just disenfranchised. If it was a political satire, it just is a movie that's going to disenfranchise you. We grew up enjoying The Distinguished Gentleman by Eddie Murphy, and now we're adults watching it going, oh my god, this is a horror story.
It is so disenfranchising. That movie, The Distinguished Gentleman, I mean, I was ready to, really recommend that one because I remembered loving it so much, but it was, so hard to get through this movie, and I'm going to be honest, I remember how it ends. I did not actually get through it this time because it just was so disheartening to watch because, okay, technically all satires, or at least all political satires like these, are to a certain degree, they're fairy tales. And yes, I know fairy tales sometimes go really dark. However, I do not recommend disenfranchising fairy tales of why try when you're already dead in the water.
Yeah.
What is the point of that kind of story?
And that's what all of these were in the 90s. Every one of these. So the next one after Distinguished Gentleman, I believe, was Primary Colors that then came out.
No, Wag the Dog was 97, and then Bullworth and Primary Colors were both in 98, if I remember correctly.
Oh, they were? Oh, okay, I thought it was earlier.
Let's say all three were approximately the same time.
Yeah.
Why choose? Why choose? Who cares?
Yeah. So then, what was the next one? Wag the Dog. Oh, that was traumatic. That's just where, anyone decent dies at the end.
All right, I'm going to tell you this, though. This is what I think about Wag the Dog, because I did finish that one. I found one part of it rather encouraging, and it's that the major players in this, Robert De Niro's character, Anne Heche's character, and Dustin Hoffman's character, are all surprisingly incompetent. And yet, they continue to succeed. Because they don't give up, they persist. And so, they get the job accomplished by the end of the film. They do what they're supposed to do, which is a cover-up and to get the president reelected. Because, there's essentially a pedophile sex scandal at the start of this film with the president.
Yeah.
And it's 2 weeks before the election. I'm not spoiling anything. This is literally in the first 5 minutes of the film. So this is the goal, is Robert De Niro's character is called in, and he's got to figure out how to, get the president reelected with only 2 weeks to go. And so he goes and gets a movie producer, Dustin Hoffman's character, to help him stage, a theater. And that is what most of the political satire movies, or all of them really, that we watch, to varying degrees, were about theater or circus. They're spectacle. Nothing wrong with spectacle. Spectacle's a lot of fun. But it was really about, was the movie trying to empower the audience or disenfranchise the audience? Every single one we watched from the 90s was disenfranchising to the audience, to the viewer. And I was just absolutely appalled by this.
Yeah.
This is exactly what not to do in your storytelling. Because guess what? If you disenfranchise your reader, if you disenfranchise your audience, why would they pick up another story from you? You make them feel bad and dirty and dark inside.
Yeah.
But there's good dark, okay? I am a perky goth. But then there's bad dark. There's the dark of why try, why do anything, why not just be a cog in the wheel and not think beyond that, versus hope, like real hope, not fake hope that gets people run over, but real hope is fun and it is empowering and it can be intoxicating in small doses. So that is my issue with the 90s political films that we had selected that we remember from our childhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we can just kind of skip on, because Bullworth, the only thing positive at all I can really say about Bullworth, because obviously the main character played by Warren Beatty had some head trauma, or like, I don't know if it was, you know, he was in a car accident right before the movie starts, or what, but no one acts that way all of a sudden, changes their character unless they literally get head trauma. It doesn't happen. This is not a realistic situation. The only positive I can say from Bullworth is before, you know, 2 decades before non-binary was a thing that people, you know, had vocabulary and talked about.
Right.
Halle Berry really did a beautiful non-binary character. And if anything, I'm watching this going, she looks kind of boyish. And if Warren Beatty's character is really into this look compared to all the other women in this, he's covering up some other problems.
Well, there's not a problem to be into non-binary people.
No, not the non-binary. She looks really boyish, like underage. And that's the part I'm just like...
Oh, I thought you were just saying, like...
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the non-binary part.
Like maybe
she really has a good... Yeah, she has a really great androgynous non-binary look. But she also looks a bit boyish.
Look like a child, or like prepubescent.
Yeah, and that's part of like...
Oh, that's a little...
I don't know what's going on when they made that one. So that said, like, yeah, we don't go with anything in the 90s. Just forget political movies happened in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
We were very surprised at the ones that actually made the, we enjoy this still. You know what? We like Chris Rock.
I was actually not expecting to like Chris Rock's one the most, truthfully.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I didn't want to like it. I mean, I used to watch Everyone Hates Chris, and I mean, I was always watching Chris Rock films, and I think I've watched almost all of Chris Rock's stand-up.
And we love his documentary on Good Hair.
We do love his documentary. I even got my local library to buy it so that lots of kids could see the documentary about good hair. And that is a terrible term.
Yeah.
But Head of State turned out to be my favorite one for how to effectively tell a story that does not disenfranchise your audience, your readers.
And it wasn't even misogynistic, surprisingly. Like,
really surprising.
Like, there's not very much cringing going on. We're going to make a satire about politics, the presidency in America, and, you know, the people of color, divide. And they stuck with those jokes and those lines, and they ignored anything, making fun of women about anything. It was actually a very, uplifting, relatively movie.
Mm-hmm. I found that, honestly, it was my favorite one of the movies we watched of how to portray political satire and an election narrative. Because you're going to have a lot of twists and turns in any election story.
Yes.
People are expecting that, in part because it's sort of like drama in real life time. And so you are expecting, because essentially it's almost like American gridiron football. You have two teams, and they're both trying to manipulate or take over the narrative to steer it toward their strengths and steer away from their weaknesses and challenges. And so you've got two teams, at least in America, you've got two teams, and they're both trying to essentially steer the wheel about the direction it's going. Now, we know the direction is always ultimately going to Election Day. That's where a story is always going in an election story. Some political satires are not necessarily election-oriented, or the election is sort of a backdrop. It's not really the main focus of the story. But in these, since they were specifically about elections,
yeah,
we thought it would be timely.
And that's also why we didn't go over in the 90s like Dave or The American President, which are definitely their own form of fantasy fiction.
Right. But yeah, they don't focus as hard on the election being the focus of the story where there's not really much else.
Yeah.
We wanted stories that essentially we wanted to simplify political narrative down to one type of the political narrative story, just to make it easier for people when they're thinking about how they're going to tell stories. Let's talk about this one essentially subgenre of a subgenre for this, just for the sake of clarity and ease of understanding. I do love like American president fantasies, or at least I used to. Again, I've recently realized that some of the movies I grew up watching as a kid were more disenfranchising than I realized, because I was very young and I did not understand that it does not have to be this horrible to regular people. So anyway, Stephanie, got any thoughts? Anything you good?
Not right now. Keep talking. I'll jump in.
Oh,
I will gladly talk over you like you told me to last time.
Thank you. Yes, please. I wasn't sure if you remembered, and I was about to actually mention that. You know that you are.
You don't have to tell me twice. Interrupt people. I'm totally great with that. Totally fine.
Thank you. Okay.
but I mean, but yeah, like we were in the end, like the one we recommend if you want to see how to do it right, we recommend Head of State with Chris Rock.
I actually haven't seen that one.
Have you not? I haven't watched it in like, I don't know, 15 years now, truthfully. And
Has it been out that long?
Yep.
It's 2002.
2000. Yeah.
2002.
Wait, now I just feel old. Thanks, guys.
So, yeah, well, welcome to the club. The one we disagreed on was Welcome to Mooseport. Tom liked it. I had some real issues with the misogyny.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although, unlike most, it actually did call out the misogyny.
But they still ended up with the... Anyway, okay. Just want to say, it's very much, obviously, pre-Me Too movement.
Yeah.
And while technically Head of State is as well, I mean, it is not technically, it is pre-Me Too. Head of State handled female characters very nicely, at least what I saw. Now, you may call me out and say, oh, Gloria, you totally missed this, which is entirely possible. I did watch it late at night. I liked it. But my issue with Welcome to Mooseport, which overall, like, number one, my real main issue with Welcome to Mooseport is it is so slow. Like,
yes.
I feel the passage of time. I made it an hour through this movie. It was like, I don't know that I'm going to make it because I don't have this much time in the next day to watch this. Like, why are they filming it in real time? It felt like it. It was not actually. But it felt so slow. And that has to do with poor editing. You need to keep a good clip, especially with political satire, especially with election movies. You want that energy to move forward.
Which one was that?
Welcome to Mooseport with Ray Romano and Gene Hackman. And I think her name
was so slow. I kept falling asleep to it.
Yes, it was so slow.
It was so slow.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to watch it, and I was, like, nearly falling asleep, except I was so offended that in the middle of this blast movie, Gene Hackman and Ray Romano are playing a golf game for who will get to, like, be the suitor for the veterinarian in town. And I'm like, no, this is the 21st century. We don't play for who. She doesn't get to choose her suitor. They're choosing who is her no.
By the way, it literally goes over this in the next scene.
And yet she still ends up with one of these two men. I have a real issue with this. Spoiler alert, she ends up with one of the two main guys. And I'm like, no, move on, honey. I don't care that there's no other available man. Go to the next, go to New Hampshire or Massachusetts to find you a man. Maine is obviously bereft of quality.
Get a dog or something. Don't do that.
She has two dogs. She's a veterinarian. She has a whole bunch of animals. They were airlifting in a donkey at the start of this film.
Yeah.
Because he was injured, so somebody was helicoptering in a donkey. It was great.
Yeah, the weather changes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, hello, sweetie.
I had to save her from the children. They
Poor
took
kitty.
her and woke her up. Oh, poor kitty.
Poor baby.
Yes, go hide.
So he says there are two Alan Rickman movies that were political. Bob Roberts
Yeah.
and the Butler.
Yeah.
Ah, that's sweet.
Yeah, I was going through people's names in the chat to see if I'm subscribed, and I was surprised I wasn't subscribed to everyone. The only one I couldn't find was just Ava, but I don't know
couldn't
if she has
find
a.
Eva either. I tried. I've tried for a couple weeks now. I found a lot of other Just Evas.
So just Ava, however you pronounce your name. If you're still in the chat here, can you tell us what you're like? Why we can't find you?
Yeah, she's got a wrench, so she can let us know.
Hint,
yes,
hint.
Chris Rock is awesome. I love him in Dogma, and really, if you liked him in Dogma, you're gonna like him in Head of State because he plays a very similar character, a little less religious philosophy, but nevertheless like that same heart. Is in both. Okay.
Yeah, I liked Dogma. It was good.
Now, which newsroom? Because like they have been remaking this movie since the 30s.
Yes.
And like in the original one, there's an election and there's also a hanging. And again,
isn't that Rosalind Russell?
Yes, it's Rosalind Russell. The original movie is in my Rosalind Russell folder because I love me some Rosalind Russell. When I grew up, I wanted to be Rosalind Russell when I was a kid. MM says, see, Dave, is satire dressed as romance, but when you look at it, it was a Simpsons level moment. Dave was in 93, and the blue dress was 1998. Yeah. We are all happy to see the poor little waking up kitten. So, anyhow. So Tom came in and had ideas about wrapping up the satire discussion.
All right, so we talked a lot about, what's parody and what we were really annoyed about these movies. And I realized, maybe we also need to talk a little bit more and get a better sense of really what is satire and easy ways to remember it and so you can better understand, why these political satire movies do not work as well as the writer thinks they do. And that is, first we have to talk about what is a joke. Because that is, satire is comedy.
Right? It's supposed to be humorous or amusing.
And a joke is a benign violation. And, the simple way to describe it is somebody is running downhill and they notice at the bottom of the hill there is a cliff. It is, a drop-off. And they are not sure what they're doing and they are still bolting down that hill. What are they going to do? And out of nowhere, a goat headbutts them from the side and they just end up on their back leg on the side of the hill. And they're fine.
That's why it's funny. It's benign violation. So we were worried that they were about to jump off a cliff inadvertently. That's a violation. That's scary. And then it was turned benign by a goat. If it had been a dragon instead that sideswiped it, we would still be worried because dragons are dangerous and deadly, aren't they? We wouldn't laugh. We would be like, oh, no, what happened? But because it's a goat, we're not worried about the person. The goat will not eat the human. Probably. So it's funny. It's funny that there was danger, and now that it's not, and it's benign. It's obviously benign. We don't have to worry about it. That's a joke. It's benign violation. You can have the benign first and then the violation. You can have the violation and then the benign. But that's what makes it funny, is a benign violation. And
it works, and it always works on, we know what we expect to happen. So you're running down the hill and there's a cliff. You're expecting the person to go off the cliff. Because that's the direction of the story. That's it. We
see the cliff, so we're expecting somebody to fall off the cliff. It's Chekhov's gun.
Or in the political case, you expect the politician to lie for their own benefit. That's the expected.
Does that. Not even politicians. A lot of people, when given power, will be selfish.
And so that's what we expect. You can satirize it by, you expect the politician to lie to benefit themselves. Well, guess what? The lie either doesn't benefit them or they tell the truth. And even though they expected all the worst outcomes, they succeed. Because all of a sudden they're honest. That's the satire. It is against the expectations of the norm. And these movies, except for Head of State, and to a lesser degree, Welcome to Mooseport. People do exactly what you're expecting them to do. They are selfish. They are dangerous. They're all bad people.
Even in Distinguished Gentlemen, so we have Congress, which, is full of all the, like, selfish liars politicians we're expecting. Then we have Eddie Murphy's character and his crew, but they're con artists. Before they ever get to Congress, they're con artists. So the only twist in Distinguished Gentlemen, I know, spoiler alert, is Eddie Murphy, because he is infatuated with one idealistic woman, tries to con the con artist in Congress. He doesn't have a true change of heart. He has a minor change, but frankly, I don't think it's his heart that had a bit of a change, you know what I'm saying? And so he just takes this skill he has of being a con artist, a scam artist, and he scams the politicians. That is not, he doesn't make it benign. It is not a benign. There's the violation of everybody being terrible in Congress, sure. And there are, in fact, other congressmen, new congressmen who are quite idealistic and really did join, not to profit, but to actually serve their country in true noble ways. Do we focus on them? Not much. I mean, they missed all the opportunities that they could have used, both to perpetuate benign violations, but also to satirize for comedic effect. And instead, there's no exaggeration here. Con artists are con artists, whether they're in Congress or whether they live in Florida, scamming, people through sex hotlines. They're still con artists. It's not much of a satire.
But, the fantasy and the fun of Head of State, where we get just a regular person taken off the street.
Well, he's an
alderman, where he is expected to lose, and they are just using him so that they can pretend like they are more progressive than they really are. And he ends up succeeding. That's the satire, where there is success where it is set up for a failure. And where this person who doesn't have previous experience shows that their life experiences still have prepared them for this situation that no one else saw coming. That is satire. That is proper satire.
Let's see. So CB says, with these script chapters, I'm writing the reactions. The characters are watching the MCU movies. And I just add the reactions together and don't count the script stuff. Okay. It would be kind of dangerous if Loki came in and sideswiped the runner. Loki is dangerous. Loki is a violation. Frankly, Loki is a walking violation.
Yeah.
And so you would need Thor, maybe, to sideswipe, or Freya. Is Freya in?
Yeah.
No,
that's his mom.
Oh, the problem with the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, no. The joke for that version would be Loki falling eternally through that portal that Doctor Strange does. Mm-hmm. And Loki gets sideswiped by Thor's hammer as Thor's trying to retrieve it.
Right.
And so Thor gets both Loki and the hammer.
All right,
that would be a joke.
Let's see. CB says, like the Simpsons episode of Bart the Daredevil.
Yep.
And then it says, but what if they what if they are knocked down by the rabbit
of Carabanog?
Still kind of funny though.
Yes.
Wing dang doodle. Yeah. No, I think we were all laughing. I think everybody finds that amusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You get it. Let's see. Eva says, I have a cool piece of Loki art. Shamelessly steals husband's art for this comment. Yes. Not his, like he crafted it. Just like he purchased it. Haha. Everything of his is now yours. So I haven't watched it. And I don't want to pay for it. And
yeah, when we had the video store, we became known as the video store with the odd, different movies.
Yes.
The odd different movies.
Yes.
Well, we are not mainstream for where we live.
No. No, we don't really watch a lot of horror movies, and this is a major horror country.
Really?
Oh yeah, well, it's the Bible
because
Belt.
horror movies are all about morals.
Yeah, they're all about reinforcing the local morality.
Right.
Hence, you know, when you have sex in a horror movie, you die because you aren't married,
Only the
and that's a sin.
That reminds me of that scene from the movie Scream, where he's telling all the
tropes.
the rules, the rules, like if you're a virgin, you survive, or you know, if you have sex, you die. That's that one. I wish my kids were older so I could watch it with them. It's a fun movie, but they can't.
Like
watch
no
it.
matter what happens, time will march on. They will eventually get older.
Yes.
Yes.
And they will eventually get old enough to say, "Oh, this is so silly, Mom."
Yeah, they will
Why
eventually
do you
roll
like
their
it?
eyes like, "Oh, Mom."
They do that already, especially when I sing awesome 80s songs badly on purpose. My boy doesn't like me singing in the car, so I'll like lip sing badly the songs, or I'll play the Barbie girl song and I'll sing it really loud, and my husband will sing the Ken parts and I'll sing the Barbie parts.
Oh gosh. Oh,
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yes. We do know all the words. It's part of my divorcee playlist.
Oh.
When I was...
What else is on that playlist, Corey?
Was it I Buy the Drugs?
Yes, that was on the playlist. I mean, we were not actually buying drugs, but in the music video there is a little mini dachshund puppy.
Yes.
And I originally got into Electric Six from Danger High Voltage, and I Want to Take You to a Gay Bar.
Yeah.
Wow, those music videos are gorgeous. I mean, you haven't lived till you've seen like 30 or 40 Abe Lincolns weightlifting in a music video talking about I Want to Take You to a Gay Bar.
Yeah. I mean, versus High Voltage, where they had a sitting Canadian minister.
Right. She did a great job. That was bizarre. I liked all the crotches of the taxidermied animals lighting up. That was weird as could be.
So, CB, we do need a way to contact you so we can get you a link to get you on the show.
If you want to. If you don't, that's fine. But we feel like you definitely should come on if you are up for it. And tell us all your opinions about Kevin Smith next week. If you want.
Yeah.
And just, know that we've got you, like, planned for the week after. Jumanji, Zathura, and The Rundown. Right now, we have it scheduled for November 16th. Unless that does not work for you, let us know. So we can still play around with schedules.
Yeah, it's a collection of songs like that are still fun. I mean, there's Gold Digger
from Glee, the Glee version.
Ooh, I could just listen to all the Glee songs over and over again. They're all really good.
Right.
We liked the first season when they were meant to be sung by regular people instead of, preteens, and they upped the octave for everything.
Yeah.
But the first season songs, we still sing. We still listen to and enjoy.
Charlie says that MM and Charlie behold the platonic glory of the Psychic Writers Guild of the Apocalypse. You both have rewritten it, right? We're still here for a little bit, Nikki. And
you didn't miss us. We're still here. Hi, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
Should we sing you a welcome song?
Yes. Don't forget farce and pastiche. Okay, so let's see. Right now we have on the list the Monday before American Thanksgiving. We're going to do our tribute to Barry Sonnenfeld. And then for Monday, November 30th, will be the Antiquated South. That would be the Southern pastiche setting with the farces. Right now, for December, we're still trying to see because like Abby wants to come on for when we're doing the Harry Potter critique. We're going to critique all the Harry Potter movies in one exciting Monday. So we need to figure out
all 8 in 2 hours. Are you sure?
We have lots of thoughts, yes.
Because it's just one writer and it's one bad storytelling method.
Pretty much, yes.
We can say the same about most of the books.
I do know right now we are planning for the Monday before Christmas to go over holiday movies. So be thinking now if you want to like throw in, hey, what about this movie? And we'll see about watching that and getting that on the schedule. But Nikki does say, hey, everybody, hey, darling.
And if you want to join us for any particular one of these discussion topics, let us know.
We'll send you the StreamYard link. CB says it'll be there with bells on. We just need to know, like, are you on Instagram? How can we message you?
I know how you can get a hold of them.
Okay.
You have to drive out of your house. You go to the corner, and you flag down someone that has a pilot's license and send him CB a Skywrite message.
Right, in Scotland.
That's how you need to do it.
That's going to be waiting for Americans to be allowed back in, I think, to Scotland. It's going to take a little bit. Devin has joined us again. Now, finally, the live stream has been made real by the appearance of Devin. CB weighs in, and Kevin Smith wrote, directed, and started, and protested. Isn't that awesome? And, by the way, they had glitter on their sign for their protest.
Yes.
I just want to point that out. It's about glitter quality.
It was too special. It was too extra for everyone else protesting.
Mm-hmm.
They actually kept their distance because
they thought
his sign was too... It was also too professional looking.
Yeah, apparently.
That's how bad their signs were.
Like, yeah, the Catholics, I think he said, Kevin Smith said, like, he felt like the local Catholic League just didn't have their heart into protesting the movie. They were very disappointed. Charlie says, love chasing Amy, but I sort of lived a bit. Yeah, me too, baby. It's something else. By the way, fun fact. What is her name? Joey Adams? Is that?
Yes. Joey Lauren Adams?
Joey Lauren Adams actually lives most of the time here in the town that we live in, here in Hattiesburg. And she sends her children to a local school here. So just saying. Like, she has been spotted many a time going to the Winn-Dixie and the corner market. Just throwing that out there. I'm just saying. JC, was the reason Alan Rickman got the part in Dogma? Yes. Well, I am glad that Alan Rickman made it into Dogma.
Yes, he did help it. He definitely helped it.
And I think Dogma, Mallrats, and Jay and Silent Bob are the only ones I've seen. There are so many options. And excuse me, but if you are on Charlie's Discord or anyone's Discord, and so if you befriended me, you can DM me. And if you need a link to any of the movies, because you can't find a copy for you to watch, you could just ask and I could try to help you. Because it's about watching movies, right? Let's all just have a good time. Yes. Virginity is a construct. I agree. And also, like, really doesn't need that many believers anymore. Not much. Horror movies are a thing in the South. They are major into them. I mean, there are a few good horror movies. They are rare, though. I will say that.
I mean, you do enjoy Fright Night.
I know. I love both the original one and the David Tennant one. It is so nice to hear other people applaud Charlie singing.
I haven't heard him sing yet.
Is there a recording somewhere? Like, I didn't get to watch. Is there a recording somewhere? Like, I didn't get to watch Saturday because I was doing stuff. Like, and when I say doing stuff, I was mostly trying to find my costume for Abby's show and having, let's just say minor panic attack. Like, you know what? I get neurotic. So
hey, listen. Any panic attack is not a minor one. It's a panic attack. Don't downplay it, okay? You say I had a panic attack and I had to have a minute. There's no minor thing. I had a minor. It was minor. Psychotic break episode. It's okay. I had a minor break and I broke some ribs. It's okay. I had a minor. No, there's nothing minor about an anxiety attack. Don't downplay it.
2020 is very difficult to cope with for everybody, me included. I do have a soul, despite the rumors. because I grew one from a seed. There was a traveling salesman, and it's nice when people.
So that's what happened in 2020. You bought your soul from a traveling salesman. It was all because of you.
It comes in a seed, and you grow it, and then that's yours. Yes, and you nurture it, and it gets bigger until it's a full-grown size soul. Mm-hmm.
And what happened to that seed? Did it grow?
It's growing.
Did you forget to water it? Did you forget to water it?
We've had a lot of water lately. I mean, like, if you haven't heard about Hurricane Zeta, we're good.
But have you watered your own soul seed?
Well, I left it mostly outside, quite frankly, in the backyard. So cats mostly, like, rub up on it. I feel like it's doing fine. I'm mostly hands-off in the skull growing.
Our family grows best by not paying attention to things.
Right, yeah, because we tend to over-smother. It's best if we're hands-off. I'm very happy that Eva had magical fried chicken appear. I think that's an excellent way to get fried chicken. Yeah, I actually totally forgot about the Saturday karaoke. That's really what happened, as well as I did have like a minor, I'm going to look terrible, I don't have a costume, I can't find anything to wear. So I got over that on Saturday.
Lori, I thought we talked about this. Not minor. You say, I had an anxiety attack.
Okay. Was it a small one though? Like it didn't last that long. It wasn't that
big. You say small or short, but not minor. Small or short anxiety attack, but not minor.
Okay. Miniature
anxiety attack or
mini anxiety attack. It did not last that long. It was done by 5:45 or so.
Just remember that anxiety attacks are just like people. They can be any size and still be legal, but they don't want them too young. That's why minors are off limits.
Okay.
You don't have...
Mine was a mature but mini panic attack. She's been with me for decades.
Say it was a... what was the word? Oh, you could say it was a not miniature... a dwarf-sized panic attack because they're short.
Pocket size?
There you go, pocket size. There you go.
Panic attack. I just kept her in my pocket. I pulled her out when I was in my closet going, what am I going to wear? I have nothing. I can't tell you how many clothes I tried on before I settled on one I had originally planned to wear.
Every time I leave the house, I like change my outfit like 5 times. And even like my husband was like, that looks great. You should do that one. Like, okay. Then he'll bring all the kids to the car, and then I'll go out to the car and something completely different within minutes.
Yes. I mean, yeah. I just had a total like just no, I can't wear this, and had to immediately go try on several things and go, these are literally worse. I can't wear this, and had to immediately go try on several things and go, these are literally worse.
My problem is like. So I have a bad problem with dairy and gluten. It makes me like puff up. And so like right now I've been eating some chips that are definitely not gluten-free and beer that's not gluten-free. And now my stomach looks like I am 6 months pregnant.
Oh no. You are correct. That is bloating.
Yeah.
In fact, I used to bloat up so much I convinced one of my kids we were having a baby.
Oh, trolling
because she kept on wanting to know. She kept my middle child kept on wanting to know when me and her stepdad were gonna have a baby. And like, look, I'm already pregnant. Like, look, she's like, no. So I made her put her hand on my stomach, and I clenched and like I flexed my stomach muscles to make it feel like the baby was kicking.
These are the memories that last for a lifetime.
It's funny.
MM had a funeral that day. I'm so sorry. That is unfortunate. I have had several friends who've recently had to attend funerals as well. In fact, Friday, I was having one of those, I don't know that I should go on the stream or even talk to human beings on Charlie's stream, because just Friday alone, I had several people. I had a best friend end up in the ER, and I had a funeral and so on. It's just like, this is just not a month. But I am glad you are here, MM, and that you're doing okay, or at least a facsimile of okay.
Eminem further on down the chat says, I have a gluten baby belly.
Yes, you do have a gluten baby belly. And Devin said there was karaoke on Sunday too. Okay, I I am not getting my notifications, but
Yeah.
that's kind of just.
Well, I think the one on Sunday was like someone's like live stream of like their book release, and then it turned into karaoke. So it wasn't a planned karaoke.
Oh, was
I
that?
don't even know
'cause
about
I-
anybody's book release.
It was Blue Moon Creative's channel, I think. Was that right?
I'll have to look
I
it
don't
up.
remember.
There's
There's
Sage's
there's
book launch stream turned into karaoke. That's what.
okay.
I'll have to see because I thought I was subscribed to Sage, but I didn't get a notification. So
And I think she changed her channel name to something else. It's not. It doesn't say Sage on it anymore.
okay,
I think it's Blue something creative. Now.
okay.
Okay.
I will do some detective work. Nikki says I got nothing done today, and I need 1,625 words. Who's doing live streams after this? Probably Austin. Anybody else?
It's bowling night tonight for me, so I will be offline from like 6 to 9:30ish. If I feel productive, I might jump on and do a late night.
Yeah, we have
Probably
a
too late for you guys because by like 9
I
o'clock my
know.
time, it's 11
God,
o'clock
I
your
know.
time.
I'm trying to wind down by that point. Yeah, directly after this, we have our Monday evenings, we have a Zoom chat with a group of new music composers. So that's what we do afterwards. And then eventually we eat. But if anybody knows of any live streams, please post about it in the chat.
Let's see.
Go and get Nikki her words. Devin has blessed our stream. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, yes, the borders are still closed. No comment about Neil Gaiman. Anyway.
I'm drinking from it first. Okay, that's good.
Day one vlog. Very nice. Very nice. Red State. Suggestion. Okay, Charlie, look. There's benign violations and then there's benign violations, honey.
Well, it's the same technical from the movie Clueless. You remember that technical version?
To make the other inappropriate jokes from this movie. It's cruel.
Look, I was just listening to, the Zach Braff and Donald Faison podcast, okay? And I was hearing a few extra facts about the movie Clueless and why his character looks so ridiculous. And it's because even at 18 he had a receding hairline, so they had to cover it up with those silly hats. And they gave him braces because he had tiny teeth. And it's like, oh my god.
Hollywood is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
CB says that the salesman looks suspiciously like Tony Stark. And MM suggesting that it eats you like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. I have been warned. My mother made it very clear about not listening when plants demand blood and flesh. She was very clear about this, and I was a very gullible child, so I believed her. But, there's always next time because I would love to hear that. Gluten baby belly time. Yes.
Yes. It's ridiculous. Bread, noodles, pasta, red sauce, like anything with dairy or gluten or wheat. I should go and just have I don't know, even rice makes me all bloated. Ugh. Should drink water and wine and be good.
Have you tried kimchi?
No, I have not tried kimchi since you last talked to me about it.
Last week.
Yeah.
Was
or
it last
some
week?
or a lot of yogurt. Yeah,
Well,
I think it was
yogurt
last.
has dairy in there. Yeah, it was last week, but yogurt has dairy, and I'll eat
yeah.
I know.
Well,
single serve. The
It's just
single
that it
serve
really
of
does
dairy,
sound. Yeah.
If I have a half a container of it, it makes it bloated up worse than this within minutes before I'm even done. It's ridiculous.
Because it just really sounds like there is something in the gut is incorrectly balanced. It's not balanced, and something is just really making some CO2 with any sugar it can get.
Yeah, anything. It's fine, right? I can just not eat anything, and then I'll look like I did 5 years ago, much thinner. That's what drinking does to
You
you.
won't look so thin if you don't eat anything. Like
When I met my husband, I was 142 pounds.
I was what's
not
132
that anymore.
pounds. I think I was 9.
I think when I went to the doctor like a couple weeks ago, I was 199. But at least I'm under 200, so I guess I lost a couple of pounds. It's fine. I like food. That's my problem.
I mean, yeah, food is great. Just let us know. I mean, like right now we have Jumanji scheduled for November 16th, and if that doesn't work for you, please let us know, and we will change it. I still have wiggle room. I can move the stuff around. Charlie says they might join Meadow tonight, but only if they feel better. I hope you feel better. Rachel Steven is streaming right now. Oh, there is a link. Devin did give us a link.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Devin. By the Brook will be streaming in about 30 minutes. There is a link. And Eva, maybe we'll use Brooke's stream to get some words in before they crash. That's going to be rough. Sleep is really important.
Yeah.
So, I think that's about wraps it up for us. Unless I'm wrong. Anybody? Last words, last thoughts? I'm just super excited my nano project is finally turning out to what I want. There. I just have selfish thoughts.
Can
you might really
remind
finish.
us again? Right, remind us again, Glory. What is your nano project?
Oh, I hate you.
No, really, I forgot.
It is a rom-com, and I have already changed the love triangle again. Between a chubby comic book writer and a Hollywood actor and a Southern gentleman. And I have already changed the dynamics again, and I'm still now working in the middle of Nano. Yes. But I finally am happy with some things, so I'm changing some stuff around.
That's okay. I took my time in October. I outlined my sequel, my book 2 that I'm working on with like 25 index cards. I wrote notes on it. I wrote like time reference, and yeah, I'm not doing that. I mean, I am, but I'm not following my outline at all.
Yeah,
I'm doing the whole, okay, I have this first act scene. Now, how much worse can I make it for these characters? Let's have fun with this, because that's what I feel like doing.
That's just being a good writer. How much can you torture the characters?
Right. Yes. What can go wrong?
Yeah, Tom had an idea for a kind of a wholesome zombie story, and wants me to write it instead of him write it.
Well, if you thought of it, Tom, why can't you write it?
See, that was my point.
Because if I have the energy, then I usually need to be working.
All right.
That's the, conundrum problem.
Voice to text, Tom. Voice to text.
What will we do with Mabel?
Well, she's going to stay dead is what's going to happen. Nothing I can do about it. Okay. We will move it. We're still going to do Kevin Smith next week with CB. And CB help us track you down, help track us down, so that we know how to send you the link if you want to join us. Eva says, my MG, what is MG?
Middle grade.
Thank you. I was like, main character. No, that's not how you spell that. My middle
Her
grade.
Her main guy, paranormal ghost.
Is that? Yeah. My middle grade paranormal ghost story is one of a few in a series I'm attempting. Started last night, called the Afterlife Coaches Club. Yes, that's how you do it. In the flesh, I am these. It's a wholesome. Yes, Tom has this idea for a wholesome zombie story, and he wants me to write it. So I have a whole page written down of all the notes.
It's not that much like In the Flesh, but I did actually enjoy that series.
I never watched it.
It was that British one where, they just sometimes come back. It was about a teenage boy in this one who was undead.
It's not ringing a bell, but I don't.
The library had it. That's how I ended up seeing it on DVD.
Oh. Working title of this one, Temperance and the Adventures of the Sleeping Boy. My original title was Love Buffet. And now my working title is Fat Chance, since the main character is big like me. And because, you know what? I just, look, I want the fat girl to get the, all the love. That's all I want. I just want the fat girl to get all the love. Mostly because I've literally had that experience where here in America, people often treat me like, ew, but so much fat. And when I traveled internationally, it was like every day I could not go a single day without getting a marriage proposal. And it wasn't just because I was American. Like, and they wanted to move to America. I mean, these were people who were not wanting to move to America. So
but would you move to the Middle East with them?
No, because I like having rights. It didn't work out.
So I have this random idea for romantic comedy in my head, and it's going to be what can go wrong on a first date. What could make the first date as awkwardly funny as possible? I will draw from my own experiences from it, such as, do not say, if the person says they have a disability, do not say, what is wrong with you? You look fine. For example.
You mean versus, I believe, Glory's? We've had mac and cheese. Would you take me for a walk? Here's my leash.
It was hamburger helper without the hamburger. It wasn't even mac and cheese.
Wait, who asked to be walked with the leash? Was that you?
It was a first date. He had me come over to his house and he made me hamburger helper with nothing, it was just noodles in a box kind of thing. And then afterwards, he's like, I have interesting hobbies and interests. And I'm like, yeah, me too. What you have? And he's like, well, I love being put on a leash and walked out in public. And I was like, huh. Okay. Well, everybody has their thing, I guess. And I'm thinking, in places that are not super public because you don't want your butt handed to you by roving gangs of ruffians, right? And no. He had his leash by the front door with the collar, and he wanted me to. He did not live in a good neighborhood. He lived in a really bad neighborhood in town. And he wanted me right then on a first date to put the collar on him and take him walking. And I'm like, I think that's really a third date thing, don't you?
Wow.
And then he was like, well, okay. And then he spent the next 2 hours talking about his ex-girlfriend who had just left him the previous month.
Yeah, when we say that there's not a lot of quality people around here, and that's why we don't really date, we're not joking. We do have the stories, though, to prove it.
I was willing to take him out on a leashed walk by the third date, but when he literally had nothing to say about anything that did not involve his ex-girlfriend of 6 years, I was like, hard pass.
Yeah.
Every interest, every hobby, everything he was doing, everything he was getting his master's degree, and everything had to do with her. And I'm like, yeah, you're not over her yet, so...
So within the first 2 weeks, I met my now husband's 3 siblings. He's the oldest of 3, and they just walk in each other's houses, no big deal. Luckily, I was decent, and so I meet his sister first. When his sister had been camping, and then his sister goes, "Hey, oh, by the way, he and his sister had the same first name." Okay, let's just start this story with that. And she's like, "Hey, did he ever tell you what I said about us having the same name?" Like, no. Jesse, what did you say? He turned so red and he refused to say. I'm like, well, you might as well say. He's not going to say anything. She said something to the effect of, well, when you're in bed together and you say her name, who are you really thinking of? So ever since then, he rarely says my name ever. Like, he'll say it out in public. Like when we're in public, he needs to get my attention, like at the zoo or where we're in a big crowd with the kids or whatnot. He'll say my name. But he doesn't say my name. He did before then, but not after then.
What's he call you, babe or sweetie or honey now?
Or sweetie or just or just hey, or he just gets my attention in other ways. But yeah, he doesn't really say my name.
I mean, yeah,
What do you do?
it's levels of cringy. Yep.
Yeah. Then I met his two brothers like a few days later, and they're cool. Like, it took me like 4 years to figure out if one of them liked me, but he's just really withdrawn and keeps to himself. And the other brother, he's the annoying little brother I wish I had. I mean, I have a little brother, but we don't really talk much, really. So, like, this other little brother, he's the annoying brother. But we get along.
That's
But we
cool.
fight like brothers and sisters, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, a story of what you shouldn't do on a first date. There you go.
Right. Yes.
Don't
what
ask to
not
go
do.
for a walk with a leash. Don't say what's wrong with you. You look fine.
How about don't take your date to go stalk your exes?
Again, not a good first date.
That's Tom.
What?
That Tom.
Yeah.
Tom had a first date.
That's actually one of the more, PC and like simple ones.
Oh.
This woman had the biggest belt buckle I've ever seen on a human being in real life. She was a skinny little thing, but her belt buckle was almost the size of her head, like both sides of her face. And I'm like, I thought there used to be a joke about wearing big belt buckles compensating for things. What is she compensating for? Other than, I guess, as a woman, she would have the smallest thing to compensate for.
But don't you want the smallest thing as a girl?
I mean, she
Or would you want the biggest thing?
why is the belt buckle as big as her face? I'm like, did she think it was a chastity belt? Like, anyway.
That one, yes, actually.
Yeah, yes, I know. I know the rest of that story. But anyway, yeah. We've had some doozies of first dates that have never become second dates. Changing the subject, MM says, the cousin isn't coping well with his death, still refers to him in the present tense, not being able to be with him for 5 weeks, possibly because of COVID. Also made it seem less real. That sounds really rough. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm glad that at least you were able to talk her into getting therapy. Honestly, that's rough.
Just get a therapist that will listen, because there's some dumb therapists out there.
Oh, yeah, amen. Oh, speaking of
Nothing against therapy. I've just had to go through great
but
therapists
yeah,
with my oldest daughter who doesn't listen.
Right,
So-
there are good therapists and there are bad therapists, and it's just like everyone else in human beings. MM does say under worst dates, first dates, Likes crawls out of his dreads while his head is in your lap at the same time. Ooh, that is a level of no, must burn those pants or skirt or whatever.
No,
I think that's qualifies as
breathing
body horror.
Vaseline.
That is kind of like low grade real life body horror. I would agree. I don't know what the strawberry reference. Don't buy your date strawberries. Is this the Tony Stark thing?
What happened with
Oh yeah,
pepperoni?
because Penny's allergic to strawberries, and he went in one of the movies. He went and got her a bunch of strawberries from a side.
Oh, that's pretty awful. Okay, wait, what?
The belt buckle?
The
belt
belt
buckle?
buckle, lack of boobies.
No, I was thinking more like she don't have a penis already. What does she need to feel like she compensated?
But no, actually she had
He
a
was
set.
quite stacked. Because he brought her to my house at the end of this horror date, and I'm like, how
Why
dare
would
you?
you
Now she
bring her
knows where I
there?
live.
Okay, that is a third different horror date.
No, I'm thinking of no. You keep forgetting.
Did I?
You bring
Oh yeah.
to my house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stop bringing them to my house if it's a bad first date. I don't want them to know where I live, because some of them then stalk me because they don't know where he lives. It's awkward. It's very awkward. One of them literally got a job down the street and around the corner from my house because she knew surely eventually Tom will show up at Glory's house and I will just drive. So she just kept driving by my house to and from work every day for 2 years until I finally go in one time. Because I used to get my Sunday newspaper from that little gas station's, machine, and I ran out of quarters. So I went inside to go get quarters, and then there she is, and I'm like, hey, fancy meeting you at this Exxon.
So
and she's
what?
like, oh, that's not fancy. I just knew since you lived here, I got a job here. So eventually I figured I'd run into Tom. And I'm like, oh, can I just have quarters? I have to go.
One time, we were at the bowling alley, so me and my husband bowl, and this was in the beginning before I was on his bowling league team. But his whole bowling league had like tagged him, like, "Hey, we're getting ready for Friday night bowling," and they tag everyone on the bowling league team. Okay, no problem. And then someone's like, "Oh, great, you're there. I'll come and see you." And no one could figure out who the heck this person was, but we didn't ask my husband, my fiance at the time. Otherwise, we would have known who it was. So this girl comes down and is like, "Oh, hey, I used to date Jesse. I'm his ex-girlfriend, but we're really good friends. We talk all the time. We're best of friends. Blah 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 blah." Jesse's like, blah blah blah. This is Stephanie, my girlfriend. And then what does the boyfriend do? He walks away to leave me there with this weird ass ex-girlfriend. And after like 45 minutes, she finally leaves. Like she found like everyone's ignoring her. She finally leaves. I'm like, what is wrong with you? He goes, well, you like to talk, and well, I didn't know what else to do, so I walked away.
It's like, thanks for leaving me to the wolves.
First of all, the only time they talked is when he would order pizza from Pizza Hut because she worked there. They hadn't talked really other than that in like a year and a half.
Oh, don't you hate it? Some people just don't move on, and you're like, no. Yeah, people are exhausting. Okay, let's see. Okay, Charlie says, worst date, got chased by a man with an axe through the woods. Yeah, that's terrible. Like, Charlie, I'm so glad you're not on the market right now. Oh, Stevie has never been out on a date, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think you're missing anything.
Yeah.
I don't think you're missing a damn thing. Yeah, he may want to witness, but I don't want them to know where I live. I told him to stop bringing them by my house unless he actually likes them. Like, and they like him back. That's a mutual liking.
Yeah, I believe you then stole that one.
She likes me more.
Yeah.
She had moved on from you and already had another boyfriend and was already like looking to get rid of him, and I was like, well, hey there, cutie. Okay, well, we gotta wrap this up. As much as obviously everybody's enjoying the dating horror stories, we will see you next Monday again.
You should do a live stream, Gloria. Worst dating story live streams. You get lots of people.
Oh, I don't know that I am ready for that level of public therapy, but I will take it under advisement. Oh, God. Maybe we should put it on the list for second season of Awkward Sibling Hour.
Charlie just posted a message. It says, I once got set up on a blind date with my sister's fiance.
How is that
like, what was
it afterwards when they broke up? Hopefully.
Was it before? Were they still on a blind date? Or
did your sister know they were looking?
Did the fiance know they were a fiance?
Like, we need more information here, Charlie. I mean, if you want.
I can't say anything. I once took two other people out on a date, and apparently just paid for their date.
I once went on a date, and I ended up.
Yes, one girl out, and she brought her boyfriend with her to the date, and he paid for both.
I was working at the local grocery store, and this guy kept coming in with like fatigue, like army fatigue. He was like, "Hey, I want to take you on a date." Sure, okay. Go on a date. I meet up with him at the local like bowling alley fun center place, and I was actually he had a girlfriend of like an underage girlfriend, but I was there on a date with the girlfriend's dad. That was fun.
Okay. CB says, I'll be pursuing chaperone courtship when I turn 40, just under 2 years. Yes, my mother would agree. You're not quite old enough. Yes. My mother was like, nobody should bother even dating till they're at least 30, if not older. MM says he and I were so the same. We met through Catholic Charities work and would have been perfect together, but I can't do lights, and he was offended that I got upset about them crawling on my legs. I consider it a hygiene issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Like,
they're
I would
that
be
big
concerned would
that you,
catch all
if
sorts
they're
of
that big that they're crawling off
other
your hair,
communicable
there's a problem.
things. If they're not okay, no.
I need to take a shower now.
Yeah.
I really feel the need to go use the bidet. Just to just rinse everything down there. Just to hey babies, you're all clean. Everything, there's no that's a body part. Yeah, Charlie says he didn't know I was gay. We didn't know he was bi, and they were planning on. And they did this.
Did they get married?
I feel like this is.
Not understand how monogamy
no.
works, or was
I feel like this is an alternate version of a very sordid wedding. This sequel.
Yes. Which we will be discussing under our Southern Queer Playwrights in December.
Yeah, Charlie, you want to come on for Southern Queer Playwrights?
Let's see. MM has horror stories from dating in the 80s. I could only imagine. Oh God. Okay, yeah. And Charlie's look on his face was priceless. He said, "You're not going to tell your sister, are you?" And I said, "Damn right I am." No, they did not get married. Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. Maybe they might
it's one thing if they understand it's a polyamorous arrangement and they're not, doing the monogamy route, that's fine. But if one person thinks they're being monogamous and the other one does not, my ex-husband,
versus my sister and I have the hot tub rule, which is there's only one Fink sibling in the hot tub at any given time.
In the room of the hot tub.
Yeah.
At any given time, there can only be a maximum Fink occupancy of one Fink in the hot tub room at any given time. Should one Fink wish to enter the hot tub room, the other Fink must exit first.
So, can I ask, has that...
Yes, literally.
Why did that rule
really comes
appear?
up a lot.
Let's go with that one. Why did that rule appear, you guys?
It was our 20s.
Okay.
So we sort of were inadvertently part of starting a club, and at that person's house, they had a hot tub. And yeah, it was just only what we were just no, we are not.
Right, because it was a very nude hot tub.
Gotcha. All right.
And it would just be.
Well, I wasn't fully nude yet. I was I cannot have him walk in here. There must be a new rule. We need the Fink hot tub rule.
Yeah. And so that's become the same as well for dating or anything?
Right. So I got the first 2 hours of that hot tub, and then I had to put my clothes back on, and he got to come in after I left.
All right.
We mostly don't discuss it with other people because people are like, "Oh, but that's such a downer," and I'm like, there are certain Fink games that are never going to happen.
Yeah. And the same thing for we occasionally do have some overlap in who we're interested in, and it's just just one at a time.
One at a time, never at the same time. One has to sign off before the next one can pick them up and dust them off and try them out. Those are the rules.
That's a good rule.
You can't love the same baby doll at the same time. Only one person can hold the baby doll at once. It's a very similar rule from our childhood,
Yeah.
All right. I like that rule.
Only one
That's a good
Fink
rule.
child to a stuffed teddy bear at a time. So anyhow, Stephanie, would you like to do an outro?
Oh, sure. I'll do an
brave
outro.
souls who have made it this far. What?
For the outro, yes. At the end of a string, you say goodbye and talk about yourself, such as, "Hello, all you wonderful people in the chat that's still here. My name's Stephanie, as it says underneath my name right there. Oh, look, I got it right. Woohoo.
There you go.
I'm on YouTube with Stephanie Whitson. I'm on Instagram, Stephanie Whitson Writer. I am on Twitter, but not that much. Oh, I have a book published exactly 1 week ago today. It's on Amazon. And Lori is going to be helpful and share it in the chat right now.
Yes, I am.
Ta-da!
I thought I had it loaded up, but I didn't.
Ta-da! Ta-da!
One more time.
Ta-da!
There it is.
Ta-da!
It only took 6 tries.
It is available in paperback and ebook from Amazon, and it will eventually be available on other types of places. I'm getting that in the works, but for right now, that's where it is. If you buy it, please write a review of any kind at all whatsoever. And if you write a bad review, please tell me why you hated my book so much. The end.
Very nice. Tom, do you have an outro you'd like to share with us?
Not really. I am just simply Tom. I occasionally show up and help co-host. Someday I might actually do something on my channel. And, you know, try to write. But for right now, I'm just having fun.
I would like to point out, because, I mean, we're not necessarily very good at self-promotion, so I'm going to help Tom out here. Tom is a genius at computer repair and phone repair. If your computer or laptop is possessed, Tom is excellent at ridding it of bad voodoo. So please feel free to contact him. He is also available to be paid through my coffee account or Cash App. So you can help support him and also help him buy a new laptop, since he has done the max he can to the one he has. But
if you've got internet, I can just remote in.
Yeah, he can remote in.
Over the internet now.
And figure out what's going on. Ditto, he can also help you with internet Wi-Fi router problems. Because if it has gone haywire before, Tom has probably experienced it himself. That's why he's so good at it. Because he's killed a lot of computers. It's a long time ago. They're fine. They're at peace.
Important thing is, Tom, has any of your computers caught fire?
In the last decade? No.
See, I was like, there was that one, but that was more than a decade ago.
I feel like there's a story there, Tom.
There is a story.
And there's always a story.
There's always a story. And I am Glory of Glory Race the Blues. And if you don't realize it already, you've wandered onto my channel. We get together every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. I know. We will get to that meeting eventually. 1 p.m. Pacific. And we talk about things. Right now, we're talking about movies and storytelling. Eventually, the Awkward Sibling Hour will start back up in mid-January. And right now, we are also doing Nano. So please feel free to join us. Let us know what you think. Please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing if you had a good time. We would love to have you back. Thank you so much, and good night.